Okay, hello everyone. My name is Ribka Aurelia and now I'm here wanna explain to you about my material that is the lexical cohesion. Okay, so the lexical cohesion we have like in here the background organization and then I explain to you. Okay, so the lexical cohesion that is a linguistic device which helps to create unity of text and discourse. So, according Halliday and Hassan in 1976, said that lexical cohesion deals with the meaning text. Is the cohesive effect achieved by the selection of vocabulary. And then the categories or of the lexical cohesion, we have in here the reiteration is the form of lexical cohesion which involves the repetition of lexical items at one end of the scale. So it means like the repetition, or sometimes called the reiteration, is the most direct and obvious source of lexical cohesion since it is the more identical reassurance of the predecessing lexical item. And then the repetition, I have the example in here. There is ugly need a beer. The beer was the buggy. It was like the meaning in here is beer. And then we have the second category, there is synonym. Synonym is according to the Oxford Evans Learning Dictionary, said that synonym refers to the fact of two or more words or expressions having the same meaning. The example in here, like I heard a sound but I couldn't figure out where that noise come from. Noise refers back to sound. Both terms have the same level of generality and are therefore synonyms in the narrow sense. And then there another example, there is seven blackbirds began to sing in the morning. These birds were singing beautifully. So the third category of lexical cohesion is hyponym. The describe is the specific general relationship between lexical items. We can see the example there. There is two words, two sentences. There is then they began to make vegetation, prickly cactus like plant, and courses grass. So the explanation of the example is plant and grass are a specific part of vegetation and therefore altogether from the cohesive relationship. Okay, and then the next category is metonymy. Metonymy is described as part of whole relationship between lexical items. So the example like she knelt down and looked along the passage into the loveliest garden you ever see. How she longs to wander about among those beds of bright flowers and those cool fountains. So the explanation that A flower and fountains are typical part of the garden and therefore altogether from the cohesive relationship. And then the next, I have the antonym. We have in here that antonym is describe a relationship between lexical items that have opposite meaning. The example is like he fell asleep. What woke him was a large cross. So the meaning of the example like sleep and work are antonym there and therefore from cohesive relationship. And then the next we have the collocation. Collocation in here there is a natural combination of words. It refers to the way English words are closely associated with each other. This collocation divides into two types. The one is systemic semantic relation or systematically classifiable. The example like Mary like green apple, so the stress it is green, and then she does not like red ones. The stress in that example is red. And then the non-systemic semantic relation, it was not systematically classifiable. The example like Mary spent 3 hours in the garden yesterday and then she was digging potatoes. Okay, I think that it's all about my explanation about the lexical cohesion. Thank